All right, welcome in everyone. This is the reading for June 15th. So we have just come out of the new moon in Gemini that just happened on Sunday. So the energy, we're starting the week out still with this new moon energy. So it's kind of like, again, during the new moon, it's about you setting intentions for what you want to bring in and like planting those seeds. So for this week of the 15th, we have Chiron entering Taurus. So we have that. We have Venus opposing Pluto this week as well. So there could be a little bit, that's on the 17th. I'm kind of going backwards here. But there could be a little bit of like challenging energy. It's a little bit, an opposition is a challenge, but it's actually, everything is right for our highest good to help us bring harmony in. So that Venus, which is relationships and finances, is opposing Pluto, which is the planet of rebirth, death and rebirth and transformation. So there's something in regards to relationships or finances or money, prosperity, that is needing a huge transformation. There needs to be an ending of something, a pattern or a dynamic that needs to completely transform into something new so that you can clear blocks and transform your relationships or your prosperity to bring in something new, okay? But Venus, and then on the 15th, so again, I'm going backwards here, we have Venus sextile Uranus. So we start with Venus sextiling Uranus, which is good energy. That's a good kind of relational aspect. And Uranus is about spontaneity, surprises, changes, freedom. And there's something in regards to relationships that is going to bring something that's going to free you from, let's say, something that's been heavy or burdensome or some sort of, again, dynamic. So the sextile is good. So there's going to be some exciting energy around relationships that's going to come in it could be spontaneous. I can't say the word. So I really like that energy. And I'm just checking here. Yep. So then on Sunday, we have the sun is going to move into Cancer. So we're moving out of Gemini and moving into Cancer at the end of the week as well. So, so let's see what this week brings in. I'll do a quick reading here. I'm just going to pull some oracle first. Thank you all for joining in. There's been a lot happening and I feel it with the energies. It's just like a lot of intense just changes, and for me it's really happening internally still, but I'm really seeing a lot of people around in the external. They're going through their transformation right now. So a lot of people who have not gone through their huge awakenings, or just they've gone through awakenings but they haven't fully addressed some really imperative things in their life. It could be a job, some sort of behavior patterns, a relationship that really is holding them back. They're really facing it now. So let's go ahead and start and see for this week. Again, this is the 15th through the 21st. Okay, forge, don't follow. Pave a new path. Be the leader you wish you had. This is an important message here. You are here at this pivotal point. You are paving a new path for yourself. This is not a path that you've been on before. This is nothing like you've seen before. So if you're still having your mindset, let's say you're still haven't found the one or want to find like a partner to build a life with, this is a time where you can't apply an old template of what you see a relationship to be on this new path. Even with our jobs, we're aligning with new types of work that look new Okay, it isn't, again, tied to the old template of you work 9 to 5, you work 40 hours, to 60 hours a week. You do things you have to for a paycheck. All that is completely shifting. So this is forging. So again, don't compare yourself to others right now, because again, you are doing something completely different than the standard collective, and also don't follow. So this is also you breaking away from the group, from your friends, from your family, from your, community. This is probably going to look completely different, is what I'm picking up for those of you that are listening right now. Like, you're kind of trying to forge a path without a lot of people doing it around you. So it's a little bit harder. And something that's been coming up too is, for me, that I've really been noticing, is this fear of not belonging. That theme, especially today, literally came up and like totally transformed something for me, but something I feel like this is something a lot of people are dealing with, is this root of needing to belong. And of course, right, we are humans need to be in group. We need to be in a collective. We're not here to do things alone. So that core fear of not belonging is also tied to our like animal instinct of needing to survive. So when we are actually doing things that disconnect us from a group, that can be very scary. But a lot of us are needing to disconnect from a group that we are growing out of that group. And just continuing to stay there has gotten harder for you. They hold you back. They kind of suck the energy out of you, and maybe they judge you. Maybe they're just highly critical people that are still stuck in their old behavior and old mindsets. So that needed to come out. Surrender to the sweetness, Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. Look at that. We have a lot of Venus energy this week. And I didn't go through all the aspects, but 3 of the first 3 at the beginning of the week, 15th, 16th, and 17th, are all Venus aspecting a planet. And it's so synchronistic that this Venus energy came out. And this Venus energy is asking us to stop and smell the roses. It's asking us to surrender to the beauty, to the joy in life, to love, and just do things that are pleasurable to us, that bring us joy. This is about romanticizing life. That is another kind of, I guess it's not an affirmation, but kind of, it's like, that's something I've really been prioritizing, and like putting that statement that I heard a couple months ago, but it came more clearly to me about how do we romanticize our life. It's not about waiting till someone else gives us romance. It's not about finding a relationship. Romance can be had and found in every single day, and it's about us making it happen. So that's another theme for this week. And then I'm going to do one more here, the void. So that just came out too in a short message I had for actually on the 14th for the new moon in Gemini. We are in the void. Some of you are in the void already. Some of you are approaching the void, especially if you're approaching. The void is one of the scariest things on your awakening journey that you're going to have to face. The void is actually the very thing that we are trying to find our place in. And the void is the place where we are literally nothingness. This is where our identity goes away. This is where our wants and desires go away. This is the place of nothingness, but everything. The void is everything, and all that is in all the universes is the void. And it's kind of like the ultimate kind of point of ascension. And we may not become the void in this reality, in this incarnation, but you can connect to this void space internally. And this is where what I call the void is where the impossible becomes possible. The void is the space where, again, anything and everything you're connected to, anything and everything can happen. And that's where you want to be. But it is the scariest thing. It's kind of like jumping in off a cliff into a black hole, right? That's like the scariest thing for people, to think of jumping in a black hole where you do not see the bottom, you do not see anything, and you're like, what is down there? What is on the other side of this? And as humans, we like certainty, right? We want to know. We want to know what we're going into. We want to know an outcome. We want to know how we can control the series of events to ensure that we're safe. But this, we are in a whole new energy field where we need to be comfortable, maybe not comfortable, but we need to be able to go to the void and not hold ourselves back because we're scared. And that's a key right now. All right, I'm going to pull some of the Moonology Oracle as well here for this week. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. These two cards came out for the Gemini new moon, so I'm not surprised they're coming out because we're still going to feel that energy at the beginning of the week. So this is confidence is your key to success. Take time to breathe. And it's time to release negativity. So the first thing I heard about this confidence is your key to success is there is a deep fear, and it may be very unconscious for you, but this is kind of an internal block, is like there's a little bit of self-consciousness when it comes to being seen for you. And that's what you're trying to work through. And that's actually what has been blocking you to your success or your growth. But you are finding this key in this message today. And the key is this self-consciousness you have around being seen. Because you have to be seen to grow. You have to be seen, especially with whatever this situation is for you. Maybe it's at work. Maybe you want a promotion. Maybe you're trying to break out with a side gig or completely start a new business or career outside of your normal career. Maybe you want to do something in the spiritual space, or you want to, put yourself out there with your creative gifts or something that you have passion about. But you can't, the energy support of success is you need to be fully open to receive people and to be seen for who you really are. And that can be scary, right? That can be very scary. So take time to breathe out. I really think this is like just taking the space to breathe in, breathe out. But just because I think there's something going on, there's definitely some triggering of fears that are coming up. And I think you just need to sit with them. And there's this negativity. I'm also hearing that there's like this, you have this like record player of like this part of you that has a lot of negativity to say to yourself about you. You have this voice or these beliefs. And I do think they come from your past, from your childhood, but you have a lot of negativity to say around yourself. You judge yourself a lot, and that ties back to your self-consciousness here and your self-worth. But there could be also, for some of you, I'm feeling too, there's been a lot of negativity in your external world, and you've been kind of taking it on as your own. And I think you need to really disseminate what is this energy or these emotions are mine, and what are other people's. And when you really just ask yourself that and sit with that question, you'll get the answer, and you'll be able to disseminate like, okay, I'm feeling all this anxiety, but this isn't actually mine. And that's how you work through that. And you're able then to more easily kind of dissolve that when you realize this isn't even mine. So I fully give myself permission to release that. All right, let's go to the next layer here. All right, mental conflict. So definitely there is something that you've definitely been ruminating over. You're in your head about this. You're kind of replaying it or kind of trying to work it through from a mental standpoint. And I feel also this is where your negativity comes in. And you're trying to think yourself out of a situation or think yourself into how do I get from here to here? How do I get out of this? How do I get free myself? How do I find success in what I'm doing? Again, there's so many questions that you keep going over in your head, and that's not the way that you're going to figure them out. And that's the key. As humans, we try and figure things out, right? We try to solve an equation. We try to solve a conflict but actually what we're learning here is to hand over a situation or hand over how something unfolds to something higher. And then what we do is we surrender, right? And we enjoy and we find pleasure and bliss. And that's when all of a sudden things unfold for us with more ease and grace. And the solution presents itself in a way that we could have never figured out in our head. All right, let's see here. We have the crown chakra. So, so this flower right here is really interesting. This came up because there's a symbol that I was working with in meditation that I was provided by a Dr. Samuel Lee, if you know who he is. But this flower resembles the exact symbol. So this is interesting. So what I'm getting to is some guidance here is to look at this picture of this kind of flower symbol. Meditate on this and see this symbol in front of you and breathe it into your crown chakra. Breathe it into your crown chakra, and as it comes in energetically, see the energy of this flower, and whatever you need, your body needs, your etheric body needs, your causal body, whatever is needed, you're going to see that energy coming out of that symbol into all your cells, into your body, and working and helping you in whatever way you need. So that's interesting that came up. You got the transformation card. So this is, and I got this too. I got this similar card for the Gemini full moon. So this weekend opened up a major pivotal rebirth, major transformation portal energy for a lot of people. Definitely, it's almost like a rebirth right now. So something is definitely going to be changing for you in a completely new way. And that's where we need to, when we come to the void, that is a pivotal point where like the old we need to release and let go of the old, even though we don't know what's on the other side of this letting go or this ending. And then spiritual strength here. So I'm hearing fortitude. You're finding spiritual fortitude and confidence in yourself and realizing that you can do more than you think you can. And you energetically are opening up new powers and skill sets that are going to support you in ways that you can't mentally comprehend. So instead of trying to figure it out in the old mindset, in the old kind of patterning, in your old habitual way of approaching life, this is the new you. And now you're realizing you can just connect to this energy, and this energy supports you, it protects you, it provides you solutions, it helps you stay strong and in the moment, and not try to keep in this this human way of like, I need to figure it out. I need to figure it out. I need to, you know, be successful. I need to grow things. I need the external world to prove to me I'm on the right path. You're stepping out of the need for the external world to prove, and you're just surrendering, trusting, and accepting that whatever is in this now moment is exactly right. It's exactly supportive for you. And there's nothing that you need to strive to do more or be more. And you may think, well, then what's the point of life if I'm never trying to strive to be more or do more? Then I'm just accepting what is, and nothing's going to change. And that's totally not true. And that's what we're kind of programming our mind. We're programming our beliefs to realize the truth, which is the more we are accepting of the now, it actually helps us open up our highest potential and opening up the impossible, which again goes back to the void of where the impossible becomes possible. So that seems to be a theme for the week. I had the same thing message come up in the new moon in Gemini reading, but makes sense because this is the week after. So a very potent week. This is a huge shifting week for you. So do not try to hold on. The more you try and hold on to the old, the more you try and hold on to your creature comforts, to your comfort zone, staying in things that you know, you're feeling it change. You're feeling it ending. You're feeling the universe asking you, it's time to let go of this. It's time to quit putting energy in something that you know is basically dead. And taking the first step into the void. All right, everyone, have a great week. Thanks for joining in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'm going to be doing a special energy kind of transmission for those of you who are watching. In the name of making the impossible possible, in the comments, I want you to put and let it be. And for those of you that do that, I'm going to be doing a transmission this week that's going to help support you. And for all of you, I'm going to be kind of putting your energy in that and helping you through my transmission this week to help support you in making this transformation more easy and help you, whatever it is you're looking for to make possible, even if it's the most impossible thing, we're going to help support that. So thank you all. See you in the next reading.